there, it's Hillary and I am doing my August wrap up today. I didn't have as good of a reading month as I have in the past or that I wanted to, but there's just been so much going on with getting ready for my kids to go back to school and doing all of those last minute things with my children. So I read a total of 2 books and like 1 poetry collection, and I got almost like halfway through another book. The only issue is I'm not sure if I want to keep reading that book or not. I have only one other time DNF'd a book, and that's not even totally a DNF because I still plan on maybe going back to it and finishing it. Although when I go back to it, I'll probably end up having to reread the whole thing over. So the 2 books that I completed for the month of August were Dorothy Must Die and The Wicked Will Rise. I did enjoy both of those books. I didn't get to read through them as quickly as I normally would. My issue that I had with those books was that like when I sat them down, I didn't have that desire to pick them back up, but when I was reading them, I wanted to keep reading them. The only problem was when I did have to put them down, like to go to sleep or go to work or anything like that, it took me a long time to get that desire to pick them back up again. I did give both of the books 4 stars. I really did enjoy them while I was reading them, and I do want to continue the series, although I haven't done it yet. I really thought they were an interesting twist on a retelling of The Wizard of Oz. I was really surprised by them. I really enjoyed them. I was not expecting them to turn out the way they did, and I just really enjoyed it. And I feel like a lot of people have said you're either going to really enjoy them or you're going to hate them. So I really liked them, and I can't wait to see how the rest of the series plays out. I won a poetry collection through Goodreads. This is Mothering by Maggie M. Luna, and I did read this one. I sat down and read it in, I don't know, it probably didn't even take me an hour. I have to say, I don't think there was anything about this book that I liked, and I was so excited to read it. I was really in the mood to read some poetry. I felt like I was misled with what the book was going to be about. I thought it was going to be all like poems about motherhood and becoming a mother and your relationship with your children, and that's not what I got when I was reading this. A lot of the poems were like really weird relationships between like fathers and daughters, and they made me super uncomfortable reading it, which I know sometimes like you want to like feel something when you're reading, but I did not want to feel like what I was feeling when I was reading this. And there was not one poem in this whole collection that I enjoyed. I'm not exactly sure how many poems were in there, but it wasn't like there was only 5 or something. There wasn't a ton, but I felt like I should have at least liked 1, and I didn't. And this book, it's only available through Amazon, and it's like $7 through Amazon, and like this book, I don't feel like this book was worth $7. Like, thankfully I didn't pay for it, but if I'm being totally honest, I could not suggest that people buy this. I don't think the poems were that good. I don't think that the money would be worth putting into it, and I don't know, I was just super disappointed. And the last thing that I was working on reading for the month of August is another unfortunate for me, and it was my arc of Finding You, and the author is Lydia Albano, and I was so excited to read this. And going into this book, I knew that this might not be what I was in the mood to read because the synopsis sounded kind of dark. This book, when I originally read the synopsis, I thought it was going to be like about human trafficking or something like that. So I knew that this was not what I was in the mood to read. But since it was an arc and it was coming out in September, I think 19th, I wanted to try to read this before the book came out. And if you guys have gotten ARCs, or if you guys DNF books or anything like that, how far do you give a book before you're like, no, I'm not going to waste my time reading something that I'm not enjoying? I always try to push through and finish books, even if I don't like them, because of that fact that something might change and I might really enjoy it. And I'm hoping that happens with this book, because as of right now, I really don't like this book. And I guess I can explain why. The main character, I just can't stand her. And I feel like if you're gonna have a book that's character driven, your character needs to be likable. And unfortunately, I can't stand her. The setting in the story, I don't like the way that it's being described in this book. It is a made-up place, and unfortunately, it's described so little, I can't picture this place in my mind. It's not like a place that I can just say, oh, this book is about Kansas, or this book is about Russia. This book is in a made-up city, in a made-up country. I don't have a clue where, like, I can't picture in my mind what it looks like, and I don't like that. And I understand that not all books are setting driven or story driven. Some are character driven, but I don't like the character either. She gets on my nerves. She goes from being the damsel in distress to wanting to be the hero. And I'm like, you can't play both sides. You can't be both. She just bothers me. And I'm hoping that as the story goes, that maybe she'll develop more in her character and I'll come to like her. But as of right now, I really don't. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to finish this book, because I really want to be able to do a review on it, although I just sort of did a little bit of a review. But I want to be able to do like a really good review for this book, especially since it's not out yet. Unfortunately, I don't like it so far, and I really want to, but I guess that's the reality of getting books that aren't out yet. There are going to be some people who don't like them, and I guess that's the reality of all books in general. Some people like them and some people don't, so I guess that's the way the cookie crumbles, that maybe this book isn't for me. It might be for some of you guys out there, but as of right now, I'm really not enjoying this book. So I read a total of, I guess you could say, 3 books. The poetry collection, I don't know if I consider that a book, but I read 3 books total, which is a terrible month for me. But I did enjoy 2 of the books that I read, and I really, really dislike the poetry collection, and I'm really disliking the other book. But I don't know. So if you guys let me know down in the comments, like, how long you give a book until, and then you decide you're not going to finish it, or if you don't not finish books or anything like that, let me know, because I really need help deciding if I should keep reading this book and give it like a millionth chance, because I've really disliked it since the first like couple pages. But anyway, so thanks for joining me. If you enjoyed this video, please leave me a like, and if you're interested in seeing more videos from me, please consider subscribing to my channel. I try to post videos frequently on this channel. I haven't been doing a very good job, but now that my kids are back in school, I'm hoping that I'll be able to get back to my norm. So I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!